She blasted me in front of our executives, accusing me of losing over $1 million. Publicly. Humiliatingly. What she didn't expect was that I'd uncover the truth in less than 10 minutes and that the fingerprints on the missing money were hers. If you've ever been blamed for something you didn't do, especially by someone who thought they were untouchable, then you're going to love this story. Hit that like button, subscribe, and buckle up. This is corporate karma at its finest. Let me take you back to when I worked for a major financial services company. I wasn't a flashy stock trader or the face of the business, no, I was the guy behind the scenes, managing the back office systems. These are the hidden gears that keep the entire financial machine running. Processing trades, reconciling stock movements, moving millions of dollars like clockwork. It's not glamorous. But it's powerful. And more importantly, it's precise. There's no room for error. And I was good at my job. So good, in fact, that I was trusted with some of the most complex systems in the company. I knew the ins and outs, the quirks, and the quiet traps better than anyone. Then one morning, everything changed. I was just getting into my groove, coffee in hand, screens lighting up, when I got an email that made my stomach drop. Subject: urgent, system issue, $1 million missing. The sender: the head of finance. Let's call her Karen. Now, Karen and I had always been on decent terms. Polite in the hallway, cooperative on projects. Not exactly friends, but not enemies either. That's why the tone of her email hit like a punch to the gut. The system has lost over $1 million, she wrote. I've spent the entire morning searching for the funds and can't locate them. We are now officially down by $1,008,342.22. This must be a back-end system failure. But it wasn't just what she said, it was who she copied. The COO. The CIO. Senior execs from compliance, risk, even legal. Basically, the uppermost echelon of the company, all now alerted to the fact that my system had allegedly lost $1 million. I stared at the screen, heart pounding. $1 million. That's not a rounding error. That's not a simple oops. That's career-ending. She was throwing me under the bus. Publicly. And just like that, every email notification I got for the rest of the day felt like a bullet. But here's the thing about me, I don't panic. Especially not when I know the truth is buried in the data, I just need to dig it out. So I took a breath and got to work. This was a system I practically built with my bare hands. Every transaction, every ledger entry, every audit trail recorded and traceable. I knew where to look. Less than 10 minutes later, I had my answer. The missing million hadn't vanished. It hadn't been lost. It had been manually moved. A journal transfer had been submitted under a specific reference, KB01254. Now here's the kicker. In our system, every manual journal transfer carries a unique reference code. The first part? A serial number. The second part? The initials of the person who authorized it. You already know what's coming. KB. Karen B. She hadn't just been wrong, she had moved the money herself. Maybe she'd forgotten. Maybe she thought no one would check. Or maybe she thought, if she shouted loud enough and blamed hard enough, nobody would look her way. But I was already typing. I hit reply all. After a thorough investigation, I began, yes, I leaned into the formal tone. I've located the missing funds. They were moved via a manual journal transfer using reference KB01254 on, date. As you are aware, these references include the initials of the authorizing party, KB, which aligns with your user ID in our internal system. I proofread it once. Just to make sure it was calm. Factual. Undeniable. And then, with a smirk. Click. Send. The silence afterward was deafening. I didn't get a reply. Not from her. Not from the COO. Not from anyone. No apology. No follow-up. Not even a thank you for resolving. And yet, the next time I saw Karen in the hallway, she acted like nothing had happened. Just a polite smile. A nod. Like she hadn't tried to light my entire career on fire in front of the company's top brass. Fine by me. She knew. I knew. And now, so did the entire executive team. There's a special kind of justice in letting someone bury themselves with their own actions. I didn't yell. I didn't threaten. I didn't even ask for an apology. I just told the truth, with receipts. And in doing so, I not only cleared my name, I made sure everyone in that chain knew who really made the $1 million mistake. Karen didn't get fired. Not right away, at least. But let's just say, she never copied me on an accusatory email again. And every time she walked past my desk, I could feel it, that nervous tension in her steps. Like she was walking on thin ice. Because now she knew, I don't forget. And I don't miss. Sometimes, the most satisfying revenge isn't loud. It's surgical. Precise. Public enough to sting, but calm enough to be bulletproof. You don't have to shout to be heard. You just have to know your worth and keep the receipts. If you felt even a fraction of satisfaction hearing this story, smash that like button. And tell us in the comments, have you ever been falsely blamed? And did you get your revenge? Subscribe for more true stories where justice is served cold and beautifully calculated.